John, a 4-0 defeat at home to Stockton Town this afternoon. 3 late goals from the visitors. Do you think it flattered them a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. I think everyone will look at the result and think 4-0, oh, they've been battered today. But it was probably the total opposite. It was probably a game of sort of two halves, really, whereas first half we was far the dominant side, had all the ball, all the chances, and we didn't take them, basically. When you're playing a team who are top of the league and they're a good team, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they've got some good players, they've got a way of playing. You can see obviously that when they play at home, they play on the 3G, 4G, whatever you want to call it, and they probably pass teams off the park and look a real good side. But today I thought first half we mixed it up, the conditions and probably the pitch and stuff like that, and we had the big man up top today who brought people into the game really well, I thought, on his debut. But yeah, it's disappointing because I thought for a large part of the game we was more than matching them, you know. And I think once the first goal went in for them, then it got their tails up, and then they had something to cling on to. And once they got the first one, then I think we I don't know whether we chased the game really, but we sort of made silly mistakes, and we just wasn't clinical really on the day. And whether it was our final pass, our cross, shot on goal, it just all seemed to fizzle out a little bit once we was in front of goal, and that's something we'll have to be a lot better at. And I think that's what we were. Obviously, you look at the Thornaby game, whereas we go a goal up and everyone's sort of got the bit between the teeth and was in the ascendancy, and we were solid, which we were pretty much for the most of the first half. I think they had one chance first half where Boss pulled off a great save to stop the lad when he went through. Bar that, they didn't really threaten us at all first half. But like I say, if you don't get your chance, if you don't score your chances against teams like this, then they'll punish you, and that's what happened today.
Those conditions in the second half as well were horrid. They went ahead just after half time. Their second goal didn't come until 81 minutes though. Did the side create enough chances between that first goal and the second goal to try and get something from the game? I
don't think we created enough chances. We probably had the odd half chance here and there. I think Pato might have had a half chance when it was 1-0. I'm sure he went through and had a shot. We sort of snatched it a little bit on the stretch. But yeah, I think it's a difficult one to sort of swallow really, because we've more than matched them in a lot of areas today, and thought some of the lads played really well, but the scoreline sort of flatters them a little bit. But they've been clinical in front of goal and we haven't, so that's the defining factor in the game really.
There's been one out and one in as well. Carl's left for Morpeth Town on loan. Ben Harmison has come in on loan. Yeah. What did you make of his game that day? He brought something a little bit different to the side.
He did, yeah. For such a big man, he's got a lovely touch and vision and awareness, and he's good in the air, as you'd expect for somebody who's that tall. But no, I thought he worked his socks off today. Like you say, he gave us something a little bit different, and going forward, that's something we'll obviously need to work on and find out how we can get the best out of people in and around him really, because he looks to be a real asset really.
There's one more game before Christmas, concert at home next Friday night, another difficult test. What are you hoping from the lads coming from today's game into that one?
Just pretty much the same commitment and effort that we've seen in the first half. It was their second half, you know. It was just disappointing that when they got the second goal, we seemed to sort of deflate a little bit, and then they got the third, then they got the fourth, and that's the disappointing thing about it, is that we've lost 4-0 and we've sort of come off the pitch scratching our heads and thinking that it was never a 4-0 game. But as we've just said before, if you don't take your chances and you don't go a goal up against these better teams, then they punish you, and that's what's happened today, and it'll be the same against Concert. Another difficult game, but hopefully we have a bit more fortune in front of goal, and the lads bring the shooting boots this time.